Alright, so it is August 31st, the day before the Call of Duty World War II beta officially starts, but it opened up a day early for Xbox and PlayStation 4 users, so I spent most of my day playing it. I've ranked up over 20 times, I've been in a lot of matches, a lot of different gunfights, and because it's boots on the ground Call of Duty, there isn't that much else I can really take from the beta, other than the fact that I haven't used everything yet. I can give you guys my first impressions. Is Call of Duty World War II a good first-person shooter? I'm not going to just look at this as a Call of Duty or Call of Duty World War II versus MWR or versus IW or Black Ops 3. No, I'm looking at it as a shooter in and of itself. Call of Duty isn't the cancer of the earth, it's a first-person shooter franchise, and what does it add to my first-person shooter experience so far in its beta? Well, first off, let me say that I like the return to boots on ground. I've wanted boots on ground probably since the end of Advanced Warfare. That's why I was really surprised that I enjoyed Infinite Warfare, and very disappointed when I remembered all of the bullshit in Call of Duty 4, making Modern Warfare Remastered a less pleasurable experience than I would like. But luckily I play a lot of shooters, so I don't really have to, have Call of Duty be boots on ground. I have a lot of shooters that are boots on ground that I play very regularly. But this does a nice return, and I want to first say my biggest praise of Call of Duty World War II and its whole boots on ground gameplay style. I don't get shot in the ass all game. This is one of the things I've been the most frustrated with the last couple of Call of Duties, and that is just getting no map control, getting shot in the ass, people spawning behind me, and even MWR shows its age, or I guess MWR shows Call of Duty 4's age with its terrible spawn logic and weird map design and awkward flow. Anyway, so when I play Call of Duty, I've been really tired of getting shot in the ass. And that goes for any other advanced movement shooter. I get tired of being shot in the ass. Because you don't want to push up too much, but you also don't want to slow down too much because of the speed of the game, so fuck, you're just in this weird little forced mid-range engagement area where you don't want to push up because then people will just get behind you and they'll get clustery. That's gone in Call of Duty World War II. Call of Duty World War II is not a slow game. Call of Duty World War II is not a methodical game, but it's more directed, more intentional. It doesn't feel random. I know where enemies are gonna be. That's my main takeaway here. Spawns don't flip that often, and I haven't been spawn trapped yet. Then again, I haven't gone up against T-Mart and his band of fucking goons. You'll only get that if you watch my stupid tweets video. Anyway. So that's my biggest like about the game, is that they're on one side of the map, you're on the other, and spawns don't flip all the time, but yet combat stays very fast and very fluid. You actually go back to having that, why the fuck is there a guy in our spawn thing, and your team just kills him and he feels stupid, and then you kind of go back to this, we have our side of the map, you have your side, and it really puts an emphasis on gunplay and not just reacting as fast as possible to everybody jumping around you all the time. But herein lies an issue, honestly, my biggest issue with the overall gameplay. I'm gonna talk about balance and glitches and stuff in a minute, but the gameplay style is very, very head glitchy oriented. I really didn't miss head glitching, and the guns in this game have a lot of recoil, or at least more recoil than the last 3 Call of Duties, or even MWR for that matter, so head glitchers are a bit of a pain in the ass. If someone's head glitching in Call of Duty, that's not the worst thing, especially if you can shoot through the cover, and I will say that about this game as well. There's good wall penetration, which is something I'm very happy about. So if somebody's head glitching with just a brick wall in front of them, or a wooden barrier, or a wooden something couch or whatever, you can plow right through that, and that's great. But the weapons have kick, and that's a good thing, in my opinion. I think some guns need to have their recoil toned down quite a bit, but a lot of the guns are just fine with their recoil. But the shots to kill, now this is a weird issue I have with this game because I like the time to kill when it works, but it is so inconsistent. It's like there's 5 different damage profiles. I feel like my gun has a 2-shot, 3-shot, 4-shot, 5-shot, 6-shot, and 7-shot range. It's insane. I don't get it. I don't feel like my gun should have a 7-shot kill range, and it probably doesn't, but it just feels like sometimes it takes forever to kill an opponent. I don't know if that's bad hit detection, bad netcode, that's something weird with the new tick rate on console, I don't know what's going on there, but the time to kill is incredibly inconsistent. And here's a personal thing from me. I didn't like the fact that in Battlefield 1, you had high recoil weapons with not that much ammunition in them. Okay, that's, you know, for authenticity, sure. But then you had a longer time to kill than I think was necessary. You know, 3-shot kill, 5-shot stripper clip, you know, that kind of thing. And that's something I don't want to see with Call of Duty. That might work better in Battlefield, but in Call of Duty, I think I need faster kill times. I think I need speedier kill times, especially if the guns are going to kick more and have less ammunition like a lot of World War II guns do. Now, someone's going to mention in the comment section, so I thought I'd just kind of lay it out here since this video is just kind of a mess of first impressions. The weapon authenticity isn't 100%. It's not. There are certain animations, there are certain sounds that just aren't right. They're not historically accurate. They're not accurate just to the weapon if you used it like today, you know? But a lot of it, I feel like, is for the game itself. It's like, we could make this gun more realistic to what it really is, but not without making it unbalanced. For instance, you can reload the M1 Garand without expending the clip. That's possible in real life, but not recommended, and you're not supposed to do that. But this game just allows you to do it. Well, World at War allowed you to do that. Battlefield Bad Company 2 allows you to do that. It's really not a big deal. But there's a lot of little things that maybe gun nuts and historians will freak out about. But I'm sorry, this is Call of Duty. If they want to take a liberty, a historical liberty, for the sake of the community or gun balance, then I say go for it. If this was a milsim, if this was Battlefield, I might expect more authenticity, but this is Call of Duty, and it's an arena Twitch shooter. Yes, it's an arena shooter, fucking look it up. That always pisses somebody off when I say it, so I'm just, okay, it is an arena shooter. Anyway, don't go looking for historical accuracy or authenticity in this game's multiplayer. Now, I pray it's in the campaign. I pray the game is drastically different in the campaign. I want it to feel way more authentic. But when it comes to multiplayer shooters, fun comes first. If you guys ask me in the comments, I'll direct you to some really realistic World War II games. They're actually a lot of fun. So enough about gun authenticity, but more about guns. I have a little bit of a bone to pick with Sledgehammer on this weird decision with the incendiary shells on the shotgun. Sledgehammer, I don't know if you're gonna watch this, but look, guys, fix the fucking shotguns with the incendiary shells. I'm sorry, it is terrible. All right. Oh yay, fire shotgun! That's cool. What is this, fucking Destiny? It is awful. Look, I love a good Call of Duty as much as the next guy, but I can smell bullshit from a mile away. I had so many weird, undeserved insta-deaths from that fucking incendiary shell. So just take that out of the shotguns or change the way it works. In my opinion, just have it disorient players when they get hit by it. Just have it create a little bit of heat on the floor for 10 seconds or 2 seconds or something. Do not allow a shotgun to catch people on fire and deal lingering damage. How did you think that was a good idea? If a shotgunner gets in your face and shoots you and you survive by some miracle of God and you kill that person, you shouldn't be burned alive after you've killed them. And this happened to me several times. Shotgun with lingering damage, really? Fuck, that's so stupid. There has been a lot of weird bullshit in Call of Duty since probably Ghosts. I think even Black Ops 2. I think even Modern Warfare 3, but let's just say Black Ops 2 to fucking MWR and everything in between, and that includes Infinite Warfare. Everything there has so much bullshit in it. Can this Call of Duty not have weird things that are overpowered, frustrating, or just things that completely negate your skill? Shotguns are frustrating enough. You don't need to fucking continue damaging me after you're already dead because you landed a shot with buckshot. Alright, so this video is all over the place. What else? Game modes. The game modes are fun. My friends didn't like Hardpoint, but frankly, they're just, I don't know. I don't think they're that good at it. But, sorry. But, I like Hardpoint, I like Domination. I played a little bit of the War mode, I didn't play too much of it. I don't think the War mode's gonna be my thing. I just feel like it's too much throwing your body onto death, and I know it doesn't count towards your KD, but I'm just not really into that, and maybe I'll enjoy it more later on, but I'm just not into the War mode that much. But like, this is weird, but this is one of the biggest things I like about Call of Duty World War II is that during this beta, with all these weird little issues, and weird hit detection, and weird time to kill, and there's some weird server issues in here as well, I can just hop into a team deathmatch, play through it, and then it's over, and I'm done, and I feel satisfied. Call of Duty World War II has a good team deathmatch, and that's honestly how I judge the flow of a Call of Duty, because objective game modes, it's hard to judge the flow because the flow is kind of determined by the objectives. In Domination, in Hardpoint, in Headquarters, in Demolition, spawns and everything is very different, and it kind of centers around, you know, who's controlling the objective. Whereas Team Deathmatch is as simple as, I killed you, where are you gonna spawn? You know, is this gonna be an issue? And when I was playing Team Deathmatch, I had a couple of weird spawns, but for the most part, it was good. I didn't have to fucking sweat. I didn't have to keep my head on a swivel. I was able to just kind of chill out and play it casually, and that's something I always liked about Call of Duty. And I feel like with Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and MWR, there's so many weird things in those games that I didn't feel like I could. And in this, I feel like it'll be a good Call of Duty. Just hop on, play a couple of matches, and get off. And I don't have to leave frustrated, and that's fine. But again, these are just first impressions that could completely change. In fact, I had a match that I will share with you in a later video where I talk about sniping. I just sat in the back of my spawn with a bolt action, and it was a really fun match actually. Yeah, it was camping, and yeah, sniping's more satisfying in other games, but I wanted to see, can I just kind of sit back and snipe in this game? Because that's what I used to do in Black Ops 2 and MW3, and I want to know if I could do it here, and I totally could. I just sit in the back and I can snipe people. Obviously with smaller maps that won't work as easily, but they weren't spawning on me, they weren't spawning behind me, they don't have exosuits, they don't have thruster packs, they can't wall run to me. There's not a ton of weird overpowered shit they could use to get to me. I was a sniper in my nest, picking people off when they came near, and it was like my second match using the sniper rifle, so I was really terrible, but it was fun. And what I liked about boots on the ground Call of Duties, especially ones that have a little bit more complicated map design, is that it's a fast-paced twitch shooter that has a decent amount of combat variety. I don't just have to sweat my ass off with an SMG and, you know, go running and gunning every match. I don't have to use an AR and play aggressively every match. I don't have to do that. If I want to sit back and use a bolt action, I can. The game permits it. The game almost encourages you to play however you want. When you increase the size of the play space and you slow down the players, you slow down the gameplay, it gives people more time and it gives people more freedom to choose their playstyle. They don't feel like they're in forced engagements. So that's my overall impressions of Call of Duty World War II. To summarize, it's not the most authentic experience, but that's honestly okay in my opinion. It's fun, it's fast-paced, its gunplay needs work. I'm gonna do a whole other video about its gunplay, but its gunplay needs to be more intuitive, but not easy. This game could have like harder gunplay with, you know, increased recoil and things like that. That's fine, but it still needs to be intuitive. It can't be a chore. Killing people in Call of Duty cannot be a chore. That's completely counter to why people play Call of Duty. The game modes play well. I think we have a good COD on our hands this year. But if you stayed to this point in the video, leave me a comment saying, drug reference. Leave me the words drug reference in the comment section to let me know that you got this far, and I'll leave you with one last concern. This game is decent, it is good, it's a solid shooter, it's at least a 5 out of 5, average game, not bad, not good, gotta wait and see until it's gonna get to a 6 or a 4, but I'm scared it's gonna get boring. I already feel myself getting a little bit bored of it. I've seen this stuff before. As much as it's nice to see it again, like an old friend, I've seen it before, it doesn't have any new stories, so yeah, leave me the words drug reference. I'm just reading off the rated M thing on the back of the Call of Duty Ghost poster. Yeah, so leave me the words drug reference if you made it to this point in the video, and that's what I think of Call of Duty World War II so far. If you agree with anything, leave it down below, and if you're gonna say that this video is poorly laid out, well, it's a messy first impressions video, so that's what you get. And my chair just made like 4 pops, and that's gonna be fun to edit out. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna edit it out because no one's staying till this point in the video, Ian.